Cyber criminals love the holidays. Unfortunately, Danny Palmer here with ZDNet with me to talk today about people staying safe online. Danny, unfortunately, this time of year, we're all putting our credit card information in and we're buying things from here and buying things from here. And this is when the criminals really have a field day, with phishing attempts and malware. 6 tips you put together, things people need to keep in mind. A lot of it centers around passwords.
Yes, well, as you say, we're all doing a lot of shopping online in the run up to Christmas, especially this year. See, as you know, we've been doing much more shopping online anyway, as well as everything else we're doing online. But cyber criminals will want to take advantage of this because it's an easy payday. It's one of the biggest periods of shopping of the year. People are spending money. And when people are spending money, that's an easy way to gain access to credentials and credit card information and important personal information. Here in the UK, the NCSC has launched a new cyber aware campaign about staying safe online in the run up to Christmas. Officially the period it's saying stay. This advice is for it's for all year round, but particularly December through to January. Christmas shopping and January sales, etc. One of the sort of key bits of advice it offers is, make sure that each of your online shopping accounts has a strong password, and that each of your accounts has a separate password. It can be tricky to remember what your passwords are, but another bit of the advice is simply just use your browser will often now say, do you want to us to remember your password, or your a password saver is saying save a password. That's according to the NCSC, that's the most secure way to do this. Literally have it saved in your browser, so you don't have once you put your password in once, you don't need to enter it again. One of the advice the NCSC offers on how to make a secure password is relatively simple as well. It doesn't involve having to use lots of random characters or exclamation marks or numbers. The NCSC suggests just using 3 random words which are relevant to you. In fact, one of the leadership of the NCSC was speaking on the radio here in the UK and actually gave out one of his old passwords, an example of this. The idea is that it's hard for cyber criminals or an AI system just to crack 3 random words, because they'd have to have so many different types of attempts. Compare that to, for example, let's take the old cliche. If someone had their password as password and they were told you have to change your password because it's not secure enough, a lot of people have probably just gone, well, it's password, then adding number 1 after it, or password 2, password 3. That sort of thing is really easy for cyber criminals to crack. So this 3-word system is what the NCSE advocates in the run up to and all year round when doing Christmas shopping. And there's also things like you can add an extra layer of defense as well by adding multi-factor authentication in order to give that extra step. So if your details are somehow compromised, there's the extra step to help out.
Yeah, Danny, really, it's not, that much more effort that you need to put in to take that extra step. And like you said, just save it in your browser. That's a really easy way to do it. So we've covered that, the 2-factor authentication. What about, as far as backing up data and making sure your updates, you're staying on top of those?
Yeah, so these are some of the simple things that you can do. Updating your software or your device is one of the best ways to keep yourself secure from quite a lot of attacks. A lot of forms of malware are based around exploiting known vulnerabilities. So when there's a Windows update that's being applied, or you're being told to apply that because there's vulnerabilities which cyber criminals can take advantage of. If you install that patch, you're protected against malware being able to take advantage of that vulnerability. The problem here is that the reason that these types of malware attacks are successful is because there are plenty of people and plenty of organizations which aren't updating their devices and their software when these patches become available. A report I wrote up recently said that there's a very, very small amount of software out there which hasn't received a patch since 2002, which is a long, long time. I mean, it's longer. I'm going to put a date on myself here, but longer than I've been using the internet. And it's just, one of these little simple things you can do. Little things like, WannaCry ransomware, for example. We all saw the damage that did. A patch for that was released in March of 2017 when the vulnerability was disclosed. WannaCry struck in May. One of the reasons it was so successful was because people hadn't applied this patch. So, just a simple thing like that can really help out. Then, as you say, the final bit of advice that was issued in this list is back up your data, because we've seen what ransomware can do. And even if it's just, obviously backing up data is something organizations are told that you must do in order to protect your corporate data, protect your business from falling victim to ransomware. It's also useful for individuals to do that with their data, because if you fall victim to a ransomware attack on your network, it might for you, it's still important things like family photos, documents, that sort of thing, which if you don't pay a ransom, could be lost forever. So it's a good way to make things a bit safer for you, and it also helps out just backing up your data. If non-criminal things go wrong, if there's outages and that sort of thing. So it's just generally quite useful advice to stay safe online. And there's 6 relatively simple things which are listed in the report on the website.
Yeah, that full list, of course, Danny, up on ZDNet there in your story. Just some simple things we can do to keep ourselves safe. Unfortunately, like we mentioned, this is when they will really strike, when we're all so vulnerable this time of year. So we appreciate that, and we appreciate you guys watching, of course, here. Make sure you check out that full list, what you need to know on ZDNet.